Have you ever found yourself questioning the enigmatic behavior of individuals who, despite causing turmoil in their relationships, seamlessly portray themselves as the wounded party, blameless and innocent? Let's take a closer look at the intriguing world of victimhood abuse, where the spotlight shines on the self-centered nature of individuals like Alex. Imagine Alex as a character navigating the maze of their own emotional struggles, using a peculiar coping mechanism that often leaves others bewildered. This mechanism, at its core, is an unconscious defense, a shield, if you will, against facing the discomfort of personal flaws. In our story, Alex, with a knack for sidestepping accountability, remains oblivious to the emotional turbulence they create in their relationships. It's not that they're intentionally causing chaos. Rather, their self-centered lens filters out their own role in the problems they're entangled in. Picture this as a sort of emotional blind spot, preventing them from seeing the bigger picture and empathizing with the experiences of those around them. Now, let's dive into the psychology behind this self-centeredness. Think of it as a protective bubble, an attempt to preserve their emotional well-being. Alex might unconsciously prioritize their own feelings over acknowledging the impact of their actions on others. It's a bit like self-preservation taking the front seat, momentarily sparing them from the discomfort of facing their own shortcomings. But here's the twist. This self-centered perspective isn't a deliberate choice. It's a complex interplay of past experiences, attachment styles, and learned behaviors. Imagine a world where feelings are one-sided and the emotional roller coaster of others remains unnoticed. Picture Alex, locked in their own emotional bubble, unyielding in their focus on personal grievances. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, seems elusive in this scenario. Scientifically, this deficit can be linked to an underlying sense of entitlement or an inability to grasp the impact of their actions on the emotional well-being of those around them. The absence of empathy in victim abusers contributes to an environment where the emotional needs of their partners or loved ones are consistently overlooked. This lack of understanding creates a vacuum, leaving the partner feeling emotionally neglected and isolated. It's like being in a one-sided conversation where only Alex's emotions and experiences take center stage, leaving little room for the partner's feelings to be acknowledged or validated. Understanding the psychology behind this lack of empathy involves recognizing that, for individuals like Alex, the emotional world outside their own is often a distant territory. It's not necessarily a conscious choice to disregard others' feelings. Rather, it's a manifestation of their internal struggles and emotional blind spots. Now, let's turn our attention to a subtle yet powerful maneuver in the arsenal of victim abusers: self-pity as a manipulative tool. Picture Alex deftly wielding self-pity like a masterful puppeteer, skillfully weaving a narrative where they emerge as the aggrieved party, even when they are the source of relational distress. This manipulation tactic transcends the personal sphere, reaching into social circles and family dynamics, casting a captivating spell that obscures the true nature of the abusive dynamic. Imagine Alex with an uncanny ability to garner sympathy and support from friends, family, and the broader community. Self-pity becomes a shape-shifting narrative, an emotional cloak that veils the true nature of the abuser's actions. It's not just about feeling sorry for oneself. It's a calculated maneuver to manipulate perceptions, creating an illusion that transcends the confines of the relationship. This deceptive tactic is especially potent in intimate partner relationships, where trust runs deep. The emotional manipulation becomes a powerful force, casting shadows on the partner's ability to discern the truth and fostering a sense of isolation. Now, imagine Jordan, the unsuspecting partner in our narrative, facing the isolating impact of these tactics. Trust, once the sturdy foundation of their relationship, becomes a fragile thread as Alex exploits it to cast doubt on Jordan's experiences, leaving them feeling stranded in a sea of confusion. Picture Jordan, initially anchored by the trust they placed in Alex, now questioning the very fabric of their reality. This psychological isolation is not accidental. It's a carefully crafted consequence of the manipulation at play. As we explore this aspect, consider the emotional toll on Jordan, the partner whose reality is manipulated, whose experiences are doubted, and whose sense of self is slowly eroded. From a psychological standpoint, the erosion of trust leaves the target vulnerable to the subtle but profound impact of gaslighting, a form of emotional manipulation that seeks to make the target doubt their own perceptions and sanity. Jordan, caught in this web, may find themselves second-guessing their own feelings and experiences, all while trying to navigate a relationship that seems increasingly perplexing. The isolation experienced by targets of victimhood abuse is akin to being stranded on an emotional island, with the abuser as the puppet master pulling the strings. The more Jordan questions the validity of their experiences, the tighter the web of manipulation becomes. The once clear lines between right and wrong, reality and illusion, blur into a disorienting haze. The abuser, through their carefully constructed narrative, gains control over not just the emotional well-being of their partner, but also their ability to seek support. Picture Jordan, hesitating to confide in friends or family, fearing disbelief or judgment, and thus perpetuating the cycle of isolation. This narrative of isolation and doubt is a pivotal chapter in the story of victimhood abuse, one that highlights the insidious nature of emotional manipulation. Now, let's delve into one of the most insidious aspects of victimhood abuse: the portrayal of the victim as a helpless and pathetic soul. Picture Alex, in our narrative, deftly crafting an image of vulnerability that tugs at the heartstrings of those around them. This persona of helplessness becomes a powerful tool, making it exceedingly difficult for Jordan to break free from the toxic entanglement. Imagine Jordan, caught in a web where love and confusion intertwine. The victim abuser skillfully cultivates a sense of dependency, creating a scenario where Jordan believes they are the lifeline for Alex's emotional well-being. This emotional grip exacerbates the challenge of leaving the relationship, as the perceived helplessness of the abuser triggers a profound sense of responsibility and guilt in the target. From a psychological standpoint, the construction of a helpless persona is not accidental, but a strategic move to maintain control. The victim abuser, by presenting themselves as the weaker party, induces a sense of duty and obligation in the target. Jordan, swayed by the emotional tumult and the fear of abandoning someone seemingly in need, finds themselves ensnared in a relationship that feels impossible to escape. This portrayal of helplessness is akin to a finely tuned performance, where the victim abuser masterfully manipulates the emotional levers of those around them. Friends, family, and even Jordan may be unknowingly drawn into a narrative where rescuing the perceived victim becomes a moral imperative. This emotional entanglement makes it challenging for Jordan to break free, as the guilt of leaving someone in a seemingly fragile state becomes a formidable barrier. As we conclude our exploration, the stories of Alex and Jordan prompt us to ponder broader questions. How can we provide support for individuals like Jordan, caught in the web of emotional manipulation? Feel free to engage with this question in the comment section, sharing your insights and perspectives. Hit subscribe, join our community, and together, let's illuminate the world with the brilliance of understanding. Until next time, may our collective awareness be the catalyst for change.